Good morning, I'm Kara Rucker. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday morning. President Biden is calling on Congress to prevent a potential rail strike. This is your morning update. Our top story this morning: after months of failed negotiations between the railroads and unions of its employees, President Biden says Congress needs to enforce a deal before a strike were to happen. Back in May, Biden helped negotiate a new workers' contract with added benefits, including a 24% raise. But some unions say it still isn't enough. Congress has the power to override a rail strike and keep the workers working. President Biden releasing a statement, quote, "As a proud pro-labor president, I am reluctant to override the ratification procedures and the views of those who voted against the agreement. But in this case, where the economic impact of a shutdown would hurt millions of other working people and families, I believe Congress must use its powers to adopt this deal." A strike could begin in less than 10 days, so time is ticking for Congress. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi already responding, saying the House will take up legislation this week and then it would go to the Senate. A rail strike is projected to cost the U.S. economy $2 billion per day. Today in the Senate, lawmakers will take a final passage vote on the same-sex marriage bill, where it is expected to pass. The bill would then go to the House next, before the president's desk. It codifies Supreme Court rulings on same-sex and interracial marriages by requiring states to recognize legal marriages regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin. Democrats are pushing to codify in case those Supreme Court rulings get overturned, like what happened with Roe v. Wade earlier this year. In the highest court today, a case that pits two Republican states against the Biden administration on immigration policy. The Supreme Court will discuss whether the White House was within its legal boundaries to limit deportations to only migrants who have committed acts of terrorism, espionage, or pose a threat to public safety. Texas and Louisiana filed a lawsuit that stopped the policy from ever taking effect. The World Health Organization has renamed monkeypox to avoid what it called racist and stigmatizing language surrounding the infection. It will now be referred to as Mpox. The virus that causes the disease was first found in captive monkeys, which is how monkeypox got its name. But now experts say the name could deter people from testing and vaccination over a stigma. The outbreaks largely affect men who have sex with men, and in the U.S., Black and Hispanic people have been disproportionately affected. More than 40 million Americans are under a severe weather threat today. Tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds are all on the table in the South. The storms are expected to stretch from Texas on over through the Mississippi Valley to Georgia, beginning this afternoon. Officials are warning residents in its path that tornadoes are likely to occur overnight, which makes for dangerous and potentially deadly conditions. The threat level is high for this time of year, something the region sees more so in the spring and summer months than winter. Today is the highly anticipated matchup between the U.S. and Iran in the World Cup. Tensions between the two geopolitical foes off the field has created a rivalry matchup. For the U.S. men's soccer team, it's win or go home. The last time the two teams faced off was in 1998, where Iran won 2-1 in an upset victory. The two teams will take center stage today at 1 p.m. Central. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll continue to have the latest headlines for you at noon. Until then, from the heartland of America, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.